if you're new and you're watching this, please hit the subscribe button. Please, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I told my community tab, if you didn't go to my community tab, go there. I mean, more people should vote. Sometimes I put polls and stuff. So yeah, tomorrow's my birthday, and go to my Discord, and it'll be a perfect birthday present if you subscribe to give me the 4K. And yeah, so see you guys later. Okay, guys, so to start this one out, the summary is Minato Namikaze's grandmother had gotten into an affair with the main branch Hyuga leader, then secretly had to birth Minato's father. And I'ma say she knows seals from inside the leaf because they're like a family, like I believe, like a regular Shinobi family, I believe. And so she gave him the name Namikaze, and she put on a seal that locked his Byakugan awakening. So yeah. And she taught it to him, make him put the seal on Minato before his unfortunate death and the war. And so since he couldn't teach Minato the jutsu, well, he died. And so, with this blood carrying on all the way into Naruto, and with Minato being marrying Kushina, with him marrying Kushina, Naruto's an Uzumaki, and he is a Hyuga, and he is the reincarnation of Ashura. And so, Hamura Otsutsuki, he is sitting up in space doing space-like things, and then he sees this Naruto Uzumaki, and he thinks, what? He's a Hyuga and Uzumaki, and he's a reincarnation of Ashura. What will I do? Then he smiled. I'll push him to awaken the legendary Tenseigan. And so as he sends a little bit of his chakra into the baby's body or into the pregnant woman's body, Naruto inside Kushina glows a bright sky blue. As Naruto has gotten the DNA, you could say, or chakra of Hamura Otsutsuki transferred into him. And so since he's not even born, it will it'll just mature with him as it becomes his or like or organic dojutsu. That's why I was trying to find the word for it, but organic. Yeah, that's a good word for it. And so yeah, but to awaken a dojutsu, you have to be under great stress. So yeah, 13 years later, Naruto versus Haku. Haku. Sasuke just got hit with needles as he says, Naruto, fulfill your dream. I didn't get to do mine. As Naruto starts to cry. As Haku, not waiting for the opportunity, sends a wave of needles at him. As Naruto looks in surprise as the needles are about to hit him, his eyes turn even more sky blue, with the diamond-shaped pentagram forms in his eye, the middle of it. And Haku looks in surprise. Then a repressive force hits the mirrors, breaking them, sending Haku into a wall with a cracked rib. Then Naruto looks in surprise as Haku's mask falls off. As Naruto runs over as he hears chirping birds, as Haku thinks Master is in trouble, as Naruto tries to stop the boy. But he can't. As a tear runs down his cheek as his eyes fade back to its normal blue color. As then he runs over to Kakashi. Then he sees Zabuza grin. Good sacrifice. As Naruto gets angry and goes on a rant saying, don't you feel anything? Weren't you two always together? He yelled. As Zabuza says, shut up, kid. Haku's already dead. As I was used by Gato, I used Haku. That was all. I said it already. In the world of Shinobi, there are only those who use and those who are used. We Shinobi are simply tools. What I wanted was his blood, not him. I have no regrets. Then Naruto starts yelling out, he loved you. He loved you that much. Don't you feel anything? Do you really not feel anything? If I could become as strong as you, will I really become like you? He threw his life for you. Without his own dream, to die as a tool, that's just too sad. Then the man quiet says, shut up. You don't need to say anymore. It, it must have pained him to fight you. Haku fought not only for me, he fought for you guys too. He was kind. I'm glad I got to face you guys in the end. You may be right. A Shinobi is still human. We may not be able to become emotionless tools. Then he smiles, looking down. You were always at my side. The least I can do is be beside you at the end. I know it cannot be, but I wish I could go to where you have gone. How I wish I could join you there, Haku. Then he runs at Gato and his men, killing them all. As Sasuke wakes up in Team 7 after the bridge is built, leave, and they head back to the Leaf. As when they head back to the Leaf, Naruto starts to think, what's that power? As he kept on getting dreams of him using this strange eye, KK Genkai, he thinks it is, and he just was just basically just kept going in his mind over and over again, that power. So Naruto then he when he get back to the Leaf, he starts to experiment. As he went to the library for the first time in years and looked up how to awaken an eye dojutsu, as it says that with the Sharingan Uchiha put chakra through their eyes. So as Naruto went back to his training spot and put chakra through his eyes turned, well, as you guys know it, into the Tenseigan. As when Naruto looks in the lake or the pond, he sees it and thinks, "Wow, I really do have a dojutsu." As he learned what it's called, and so Naruto jumps up and down, thinking it's cool, and then he wonders, "Wait, but how do I use that strange power?" And so then a voice in his head says, put your hand out in the extended form. As Naruto does this, as the voice kind of sounds like him, but in a much deeper and dark way. This is what you guys know as Naruto's dark side. So I always wondered how Madara learned the Rinnegan abilities, I guess through trial and error, but I thought of something. And so you know how Hamura transferred his power through Naruto, right? And so I'm gonna say Hamura's chakra gave Naruto the ability, basically gave Naruto's darker side the the abilities when he awakened it, the abilities how to use it. But his dark side will teach him when it's needed, you know? But sometimes he has to learn things on his own, and so he will only learn this, like his dark side will only teach him and show him how to do this when he needs to, if you catch my drift. And so Naruto then holds out his hands as he says, now push out your chakra, as then him and Naruto both says, combined almighty push, as in a huge repressive or oppressive force just goes right into trees, breaking tree bark, and Naruto thinks, wow, that power. And so then the darker half gives out a low chuckle, Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, like as Naruto grins, yeah. As then, like as then he says, well, now to use the other ability, you have to pull. So think in your mind how to pull, and say Almighty pull as you pull back chakra. As then when Naruto does this, chakra comes right back to him in like a more of a pull back way. As as Naruto grins, as then the voice is good. I won't talk to you for a while. So figure it out on your own, Naruto. As Naruto grins and nods, in oblivious that a person was teaching him, in his mind, as then Naruto starts to just play with the two abilities he will learned in, and he just basically this also helps him with his chakra control, you could say, because the way of he's basically pushing chakra through his pathways and out using one of the like gravity abilities that the Tenseigan has. This helps Naruto out. So yeah. And so Naruto then eventually passes out, as then he has a team meeting tomorrow. As when he goes to the team meeting, he learns from Kakashi if they want to do the Chunin exams, well, they can if they want to. And so they all go, as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura want to go. As as Naruto as Naruto hears a voice in his head again, and Naruto thinks already, he thought, as as he thought the voice in his head said they won't talk for a while. The voice in his head says, "Oh, I forgot. Don't tell anybody about your ability till I tell you to, okay?" And Naruto nods, and so then the clone grins as he disappears. As Naruto then goes into the Chunin exams the same way as when his clone told him not to use his power. He decides to not. Well, he doesn't know it's his clone, of course, but when his voice told him to, he obeys this time. Instead of basically not following the rules, he thinks the voice in his head was serious. And so, yeah. And so he gets beat bad by Rock Lee, and he finishes the first round the same. And so, as Naruto, just skipping through the second exam, as when he gets trapped by that snake, the clone says you can use it now, but make sure your teammates don't see it. And so Naruto nods, as then he says, "Almighty push." As then the snake's innards exploded out, as then Naruto runs to Orochimaru, just deactivating his dojutsu. And so then um when he basically stops Sasuke from for giving the scroll, he like his eyes turn into a red slit, and so as he fights Orochimaru with his Kyuubi state. So as Orochimaru eventually grabs Naruto, he he's about to slam his five fingers into him, saying five prong um evil ceiling. But Naruto eyes turn blue as Orochimaru's not paying attention, as Naruto whispers, "Almighty push." As then Orochimaru gets sent away. As Orochimaru thinks, what was that? Only that red haired man could do that. What did that brat do? As he thought. As Orochimaru thought, who did that? Was it that pink-haired girl? No, it couldn't be. She's useless. Could it be Sasuke? Then he grins. It's Sasuke. It's Sasuke, he thought. and excitement as he could probably get the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. As Orochimaru and his delusions gives Sasuke that curse mark, as then he jumps away thinking that he has the ultimate dojutsu in his hands and he can't lose Sasuke. He's even more valuable. And so since Orochimaru thinks that Naruto doesn't have the Rinnegan, is not the Rinnegan. Well, Orochimaru thinks he has the Rinnegan, but Naruto doesn't. That's the funny part. But anyways, Naruto, he runs. He runs with Sakura to put Sasuke in a cave. As Naruto and Sakura fight the Sound Shinobi, but Naruto and Sakura couldn't go anywhere, and Orochimaru did not get his 5-prong seal on Naruto, which is great, right? And so, yeah. And so Sasuke goes outside and just destroys all of them. And so they go on their way as they meet Kabuto on the way, and as Naruto just doesn't use his Tenseigan again, vowing not to. And so yeah, Naruto, he just is, being Naruto. Until the third exam. And when it's his turn, the voice says, use the power when I tell you to. So right now this voice is commanding him through the Chunin exams, as they don't want to show too much till it's absolutely necessary. As if Naruto is just spamming the Tenseigan, it would be bad. And yeah, and it basically has Hamaru's will as it's his chakra. So yeah, it's like how Minato was able to talk to was able to talk to Naruto, and how Kurama is able to talk to Naruto. Hamaru basically sealed his soul inside of Naruto, and that chakra went to Naruto's evil self to basically guide Naruto. And so as it guides Naruto, he's doing his Naruto thing, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. And so, right when Kiba is about to get the Fang over Fang, hit like his last attack on a Fang over Fang, to try to knock out Naruto, like Naruto's thinking, what do I do? What do I do? And he's about to get an idea of the transformation jutsu, but the voice in his head says, turn on your Tenseigan, as Naruto grins and nods. And then he says, and then Naruto whispers out, Shinran Tensei, almighty push, as it pushes Kiba and his dog away, right into the wall, as Naruto turns off his Tenseigan, as everyone thinks, what was that? What was that power Naruto used? As then Hiruzen thinks, was that some sort of gravity attack? Hiruzen thought, as the Jonin thought the same. And so Kiba and Akamaru's knocked out, with Kiba having a cracked rib. And Akamaru, well, he just collapsed into Kiba to because it'll be pretty bad if I said Akamaru got killed. I mean, the Inozuka clan would be after Naruto's head, basically, for killing their doggy. And so, yeah. And so Naruto, oh yeah, and Hiruzen calls in Jiraiya as he knows he's nearby, and then he tells Jiraiya that Naruto Uzumaki used some sort of a gravity attack. And Jiraiya widens his eyes and nods. Yes, I'll meet the boy. As he thought, does he have it? Only Nagato could do something like that. And so then Jiraiya heads over to the So Naruto and Jiraiya meet the same, with Jiraiya saying, Naruto, show me that. Show, show me it. He says, as Naruto looks in fear and like in surprise. The voice that says, "Do it." They sigh, and so then Naruto nods as they're at the waterfall, or the water creek that they trained at, and then Jiraiya says, "Huh, it's not the Rinnegan," he says, as Naruto nods, and he says, "It's called the Tenseigan. It's like the Rinnegan I heard, but yeah." Naruto grins as he says, "You know?" And so Jiraiya grins and nods. "Well, I was going to teach you summoning, which I still will," he says, "kid. So, sign this." As he takes out a summoning scroll, as so he says, "So show me what you can do with it." So as Naruto says, "Almighty push," as a huge wave just flies over, as like they're like a creek, and so then he says, "Almighty pull," like 5 seconds after, and so Naruto pulls that water, or pulls water towards him, soaking Jiraiya, and he says, "Brat, you should have told me that before you did it." So as Naruto grins, "Well, you told me to. You didn't tell me to tell you." He grins, as Jiraiya gets angry at him, and so then he says, "You're doing good." Nagato was almost at that level, but we will need to help you with controlling it like he can. But it might take a while to do that, and we need to focus on making making the attack a zero in on a person, and lessen the power so we don't kill him. You know, as Naruto nods, "Yeah, I know." So then Jiraiya says, "Well, I'm gonna first teach you the summoning, and we'll figure out your Kekkei Genkai later. But just keep doing what you're doing, and that'll be your trump card in the exam because nobody can defend that." As Naruto nods and grins, "Yeah." So with Naruto learning the summoning the same, and how knowing how to control the Nine Tails chakra, Jiraiya now knows that Naruto has just more than the Nine Tails at this point. So going into Naruto's training, he doesn't just think that the Nine Tails will just be his trump card to trump any other shinobi. His trump card will basically be his Tenseigan and the Nine Tails chakra, which Jiraiya thinks would be a deadly force, and that could help him to defeat the Akatsuki. As he thinks Minato's son can really defend himself against the world now, because if he masters this power, the Akatsuki won't be a worry, because he thinks that there might be more powers like the Rinnegan to this. Like, yeah. And so then Jiraiya grins as he just disappears, as Naruto wakes up, and as he has that same confrontation with Gaara, he goes to the Chunin exam, as he is in a hurry as he arrives there. As so then he has a match against Neji. So in the beginning, Naruto is just getting his butt whooped, and he's tempted to use his power, but he doesn't want to. And so then when he gets knocked to the ground, almost out of chakra, Naruto unleashes the Nine Tails chakra. So as he goes in a dash, as he's just basically Neji's defending from his attacks, but he's still getting beat to the ground. As then Naruto appears over Neji, and so then he says, "Shinran Tensei, almighty push." As Neji's face gets pushed into the ground, as then it creates a huge big crater. As then Neji's not knocked out, as Naruto deactivates his Kekkei Genkai, as everyone looks surprised, and the Jonin getting think it's that power again, and Hiruzen thinks, wait, he's more athletic with that ability and more versatile with it. Maybe he's making his Kekkei Genkai something out of nothing. As then Hiruzen grins, as so then Jiraiya, Jiraiya's not there, so I'm not gonna talk about him. And so as Naruto walks up grinning, Shikamaru says, "So I guess you're popular now, huh, Naruto?" And Naruto grins, "Yeah, you could say that." And so Naruto then grins as Sasuke's magic as he tries to warn Sasuke, warns Kakashi that, basically trying to warn him, and Kakashi chooses to ignore it, of course. And yeah, I mean, what you expect? Nothing to expect. And so yeah. Well, anyways, let's get into it. So when Naruto chases after Gaara, Shikamaru does his sacrifice, as Naruto and Sakura respects him for that, and Sakura thinks, is he gonna die? And Naruto grins, trust me, he won't die. Or yeah, he won't die. As then they run to like Gaara, as Naruto gives Gaara that big boot. No, actually in this one, I think Naruto, he would I think he would, what do you call it? Oh yeah, I think that Naruto say almighty push, as he pushes Gaara into trees, as Naruto grins, and then Gaara thinks, what was that, Naruto Uzumaki? As he thinks it's that same stupid power that Naruto used. So yeah. And so Naruto, he is getting ready to rumble. And so with that, Naruto attacks Gaara with his Tenseigan shining, as he just doesn't care anymore. His Tenseigan, for some reason, his body's glowing a lightish blue. As it's not it's just gives him a bit of a power boost and giving him a big boost for some reason. Like it's so he's using 0.10% of the Tenseigan cloak, chakra cloak. Yes, you heard me, 0.10%. And so Naruto is basically just using this little cloak, and because his chakra's not strong enough or big enough to do basically 100%, it will just basically kill his body. So him holding the power out, he's like he gets a little cloak, you know. So as Naruto is able to outspeed Gaara now, Gaara's getting beat into the dirt. With Naruto's huge power boost, it seems, Naruto's just on basically a different level. But Gaara has a trump card too, as he goes into the dead possum jutsu, as Naruto gets surrounded by sand. As then Naruto summons Gamachichi at first, but then he summons Gamabunta. As then when he summons Gamabunta, they have their fight. With Naruto stuck in the sand, he says, almighty push, as the sand gets blown away. As like as in Naruto's fist glows blue as he looks at him, looks down at him with that Saitama look, as as in the screen will show, die. As in Naruto punches Gaara through the sand into the dirt. And so with that, Naruto is the victor. Well, of the match they did, you know. I think that's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Pretty cool. And so with that, Naruto grins as he thinks that he's the best. Yeah. Oh, guys, don't forget, subscribe and like the video. My birthday is tomorrow. Don't forget, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to subscribe, but I would love it. You know what I mean? It'll be I'll be thankful, and I would love you guys. So please hit that like button, and yeah, we gonna hit 3 milli? You never know. And so yeah, and so then not 3 milli, but you know what I mean. So as Gaara and Naruto lay on the dirt, Naruto says, Gaara, it's almost unbearable, isn't it? That feeling of being all alone. I know that feeling. I've been there in that dark and lonely place. But now there are other people who mean a lot to me. I care more about them than I do myself, and I won't let anyone hurt them. That's why I'll never give up. I will stop you, even if I have to kill you. They saved me from my loneliness. They were the first to accept me for who I am. They're my friends. Gaara smiles as his eyes widens. Naruto Uzumaki, I'm done. As then, Kankuro and Tamaru land on the ground, as Sasuke and Sakura do, as they both go their separate ways. As Naruto goes into the hospital, and Gaara does. And so after the third Hokage's funeral, with Naruto asking the same questions, yeah. So now, this is the end of the What If, and yeah, it was a good one. And yeah, this will probably come out like at 10 p.m. thinking of what I'm gonna do, and like I always do, I'm gonna play like the clip of this because it's not mine. So I'm gonna play a clip like the same thing at the end of the video if you thought that the gameplay was fire. And so see you guys later. And the draft tomorrow. Duval.
第一戦開始。捕まえたよ。甘いよ。そうだ。 遅いね。勝負あり。第2戦開始。そうだ。こいつだ。そうだ。そうだ。そうだ。そうだ。捕まえたよ。禁じて仕込みの捕まえたよ。これからだ。おすげ。それ。チャクラン。チャクラン。チャクラン。勝負あり。第一戦開始。
今ね。残念でした。無駄無駄。そうだ。そうだ。今ね。
第2戦開始。残念でした。 捕まえたよ。これからだ。
今ね。
着弾。着 あり。
こんな
第一戦開始。
いけそこだそこだ物は使いよそうだそうだ一旦用水だそこだそうだそうだ
第二戦開始。
いけそこだあよっと甘いねあ一旦用水だいけ遅いね覚悟してくださいねそうだそうだそうだチャクラメスそうだチャクラメス一旦用水だそこだ一旦用水だ一旦用水だそうだ甘いそうだそこだ一旦用水だそうだ捕まえたよやっそこだまあいい甘いよ用水だいけ遅い信じて仕込んだ
終わらせてやろう。天外神聖勝負あり。第一戦開始。
そうだそうだ捕まえたよやっそう雨の上ここだこっちだ捕まえたよここだこいつを使うかそこかそうだこっちだそうだ
勝負あり。 始。
こっちだ。雨の上千鳥。遅いね。こっちだ。無駄無駄。禁じて仕込みの術。終わらせてやろう。天外神聖。こっちだ。そうだ。そうだ。無駄だ。こっちだ。そうだ。そうだ。ここだ。そこか。ここだ。
第一戦開始。
そうだ。そうだ。捕まえたよ。そうだ。行くぞ。そうだ。捕まえたよ。チャクラメス。
勝負あり。第二戦開始。
行くぞクラマ。行くぞ。おっと。行くぞ。これからだ。チャクラン。チャクラン。チャクラン。行くぞ。
勝負あり。最終戦開始。
捕まえたよ。禁じて仕込む。遅い。禁じて仕込むの術。終わらせてやろう。天外神聖。
勝負あり。
また手合わせしてください。